Hello and welcome to Ula and Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight is a bonus reading for Taurus. And our card is from the Tarot of the Abyss, and it is the Devil card. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Now, I have to say, I actually just want to look at this. I have to mention it before I forget, but I really like this illustration. On this card in particular, it reminds me, and if you are kind of, I don't want to say nerd, but I am a nerd. So if you read Berserk, it reminds me of that manga. So anyways, let's get back to the reading. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. Okay, so we do have this little bird who seems to be visiting us this week. Now, I've seen it. Let's look. Where did you go? Right here. Yes. Yes, right there. Okay. So it looks like we have a bird right here. Here's the body and the beak, okay? But when we turn it this way, it also looks like the bird right here. You can see the little beak right here and the body. So I kind of imagine in my head this little black bird. Maybe it's a little bigger than little. It's not the size of a chickadee or anything like that. We're talking about the size of maybe like a red-winged blackbird, or my favorite, the grackle, or maybe a starling. I saw a starling just the other day, actually a group of them, and I was quite pleased. So when I see this, I think this is very lucky. This is a very auspicious sign. Now, we usually relate black cats, black birds with death, okay? But I don't think so. That's not how I view it. Whenever I see a beautiful blackbird, and I do often see them, I live out in the middle of the cornfields, so there are a lot of different birds just kind of hanging around, and especially during these winter months when everything has been cut low and you can see for miles and miles and miles, you see the birds, hanging around in little groups or maybe by themselves, and they're always looking for something on the side of the road. And so when I see them out there and I really look at them, I really have a moment, I think, this is a sign I'm on the right path. I am blessed. I am being protected. This is the road I was meant to go down, right? And so I see this and I think, Taurus, you are on that right path, and you are going the way that you should be. Everything in its right time, okay? It might not always make sense. Often it doesn't. Often life seems pretty chaotic, right? Life might seem like it's just kind of dealing you the worst cards you can get. But this is maybe the little tiny bit of optimism in me. But we are where we should be. Okay, and so maybe you have been learning some kind of, I don't like to say lesson. That sounds like it is a punishment. Okay, but it's not a punishment. It is an invitation. It's an invitation to widen your understanding, to take the knowledge that you have and transmute it into wisdom, which you've done and you continue to do. I also, I think that we all have our certain amount of ordeals that we must go through. And sometimes it seems like they are endless, one after another, stacked upon each other. And it is tiring. And I wonder if this might be the feeling that you have had recently, if you have been kind of just dragging yourself through. And it has felt lonely at times, and maybe you feel maybe like a little alienated or left behind, forgotten. People aren't checking in as often, or they have all kinds of things happening, and it feels like they don't really care that much about what's going on with you. That happens. It happens to all of us. Even sometimes we have people who do talk to us. We do have friends. We do have family, coworkers and acquaintances and so on. And yet we still feel pretty lonely. We still feel like maybe these people don't really care for us that much. Maybe they pretend, And that is a terrible feeling. But I hear you, and I look at this and I think, you've been looking for a sign. And here she is. It's a TT. No, but I think you've been looking for a sign. And I feel like this is a point in your story. Was that your tummy? My goodness, girl. This is a point in your story where you're starting to, I think, realize that however things have been going, the way that your life is kind of set up, some aspect of it, if it is the domestic, if it is the family dynamic, if it's the way that you feel at work within your career, your creative life, your spiritual journey, whatever it is, I think that there's a sense of coming to and really seeing so clearly. This isn't for me right now. This is not for me at all. This is maybe something that I wanted and I worked hard for, and I feel like I should be thankful. I got what I wanted to some degree. And I've worked so hard, and I've worked so hard, and I've worked so hard. So why doesn't it feel right? Why doesn't it make me happy? I feel maybe a little bit like a fool. Maybe I feel like I'm not grateful enough. I should just, kind of like, it's like forcing a square into a circle cutout thing, right? That it doesn't fit. I'll figure out how to get it in there, right? I look at the way this seems to be a bird kind of standing here and meeting face to face, and I see a person kind of laying on the floor, laying on the ground, maybe even crawling. And around them I see we have flowers growing. Flowers here and flowers here and flowers here. And a sense of I give up. I don't know what to do here. I'm frustrated. I'm angry with myself. I'm angry with the universe. I don't understand why I feel this way. I shouldn't. But it is. It's like that splinter in our foot, right? That's the one I like to talk about. That splinter that gets right in there and we can't really get it out. So we let it stay, and then it starts to get all agitated and swollen, and you get a blister. Finally, you can get in there just enough and pluck it out, and there's relief. Well, I think it's really, this isn't about pulling out this feeling, this intuition you have about your life. It's not about that. It's about sometimes we change, right? Sometimes we've chosen something for ourselves, or maybe quite a few things, knowing in our heart of hearts, this was not for me. This is what I thought I should have done. This is what my parents told me. This is what I saw on TV. This was the dream. This is what people do. So I did it. I did all the steps. I checked all the boxes, and I did so well, and I worked so hard, and it never felt exactly like where I was supposed to be. And I don't know why. And that's where the devil comes in. And this is where the devil shows up. No, I like to think of this devil card. And I know often it's like, here is this malicious, malevolent thing, right? This monster. And everybody around him is in bondage. They're just locked up. They are enslaved. They are victims to his nefarious ways. And yeah, okay, in some paradigms that might be true. But what I like to think of as this devil archetype, it's that spirit of slipping those restraints. Saying, I'm not going to live in somebody else's vision anymore, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do. I'm going to break some of those rules. I'm going to push the boundaries of my life. I'm going to go exploring, and I'm going to find, where do I actually want to be? What do I actually want to do? What is important to me? Beneath all of these layers of shouldas, couldas, shoulds, woulds, maybe not woulds, but you know what I mean. What people kind of, they cast that spell. What kind of life makes you successful? What numbers should we have? What is our score? Are we winning? That devil energy, it says, no, none of this stuff matters. Do what thou wilt. And that bird shows up. And that's what I think, yeah. Yeah. This bird knows. This bird is doing as it pleases. And it is aligned with love. And that's what it comes down to. Now, I turn this and I see we have this beautiful fish. Look at this thing. Beautiful fins. Its mouth is open. It's eating. It's eating these little fish foods, the little pebbles. And it's happy. And it's big and it's growing. There's so much pond, right? So much lake, so much river, so much ocean. Nothing is going to hold you down. But you have to find that thing. You have to find that thing. That thing. And you'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you hear it. You'll know it when you feel it. And it's a cat sitting on you. Clean. You really, I'm having such a fun reading and you're just over here cleaning yourself. Spitting on yourself. She's over here spitting on herself and cleaning. This cat is, she lives by her own will as well. So take her as an example. Okay, can I finish my reading now? Oh, there you go. Goodbye. Go find your bed. Okay, so we have the fish, and we know the fish is abundance. The fish is success. The fish is fortune. It is auspicious. It is beautiful. It is, it's the thing we want to see in our readings. Whenever I see the fish, especially a big old fish like this, I know, just with a little adjustment, you don't have to give up everything in your life. You don't have to, quit your job and sell all of your things and move into a tree in the woods. Although that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? You don't have to do all those things, but just adjusting things where it makes sense for you. Living a little more in the light of your authentic being. Stop choosing against yourself. You don't need to. I promise you, you don't need to. We also have a beautiful little a knight. It looks like a little knight here. And you can see holding the sword. So this is going to take some planning. Yeah, it doesn't just happen. I will not ever tell you to just up and, do something super spontaneously, especially if it's fundamental to your life. Think about things. Take a beat, right? Figure it out, make a plan, and then give yourself some time to sit in it before you decide. I'm a planner. I like to be somewhat sure. A little bit sure. As sure as I can be. So I also appeal to you to do the same. But it is important that we don't stop dreaming. It's important that we don't stop looking, exploring, seeking whatever that thing is. And it will change. It will look like many things as your life changes, as you change within your life. Now, I also have a heart with an arrow through it. Right there. So, it feels like we have a bit of love. A bit of love. And I think that this might be part of the catalyst, that is really getting these wheels moving, right? I also see this beautiful, it looks like some kind of wilderness, I don't know, intelligence. I think of maybe almost like a, I don't know, like a priest of the beasts or something, right? Wearing a beautiful pelted suit. Warm for these cold months. Wearing some kind of mask with antlers, horns, whatever they are. There's a primal force here. There is a low understanding. Nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with being close to the earth, into the dirt, the cold stones and moss crawling across. You can almost put your ear to the ground and hear the mother singing to you, humming to you. The fire's in her belly. She watches over you, cradles you, gives you life again and again and again. Nothing can stop you. Nothing. Now we have a 7, and I think a 0, 0. It might be 700. It could just be a 7. And we have the fire, right? We have the fire. And so you are in your element. I like this mixture of earth and fire here. It seems like a time of quiet seeing. The whispers, the vibrations, every little sound speaking to you, and you hear it. It's like, you know, as you settle into a new home that you have moved into, you made your life there. You start to know all the sounds, every pipe, or every time the air comes on, or the floor creaks, or the water goes down the drain things. What are they called? The storm drains. Every little thing. You start to really, you know it. You know it like you know yourself. And so it is, I think. You're out here and you're listening. You're opening, you're opening, you're opening. And you hear. You hear. And there's love. There is love. There's some kind of love. I imagine romantic, right? Something. You have some kind of feelings for somebody. I don't know who that is, but I think even as I say this, you can picture, who is this person? Okay, so we have a squirrel. And so we're putting away resources, which is always a good plan. Where you can, you know, even if it's the change in your pocket, putting it into a jar, a few dollars out of your paycheck here and there, or more, whatever you can do. I think it's always important. Put that money away. Don't spend it on anything. It's hard. It's hard out there right now. So I understand and I know. You know, I get it. I get it. Believe me, a long-time waitress here you're speaking to, so you know. But yeah, sometimes the universe tells us, okay, now is the time. Let's start putting some of our rainy day funds. Get to working on it. And when I see the squirrel, I think, yes, okay. There's nothing, then let me just say, I don't see anything that says there's some kind of tower event or anything like that. But I think that whenever we can, and we don't necessarily always think about it. I know that when I have a few extra bucks, I don't necessarily think I'm going to go put this in a jar under the sink. You know, I want to do something fun. But, you know, sometimes I see the signs and I say, okay, this is going to be a period of saving, saving my little extras. All right, let's see. We have the divine doors. I was like looking, I'm like, where are my Magdalene cards? Well, now we've moved on to the divine doors. These are, it says, behind every door lies adventure, mystery, and inspiration. I love adventure. I love mystery. I love inspiration. But I really, really love doors. I'm all about those doors. So let's see. What do we have going on here? Just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. What does this door have to say? It says, Anthony's call. In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost, so can be found. Yes. Trying to think, what do I have that I've lost? I probably don't even know. Something. I lost a glove recently, so hopefully that will show up. That would be nice. You know how you just like, you finally get a pair of gloves and you just get them to the, like, exactly how you want them fitted, you know, kind of worn in, and then they disappear. Or at least one, which is really maddening. I could live with both of them disappearing, but just one, that's kind of like an extra jab to the heart, isn't it? All right, Taurus, I want to tell you I love you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am so honored to be able to do these bonus readings for you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. It is, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. I was going to tell you that first. It's free to subscribe. It is. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. You know, I enjoy reading the comments. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to get to them, but I do. I read them all. And and yeah, I hope that you all are having a wonderful end of your week. And we're going into the weekend here. And here in America, the Super Bowl is on, and it seems to be the talk of most conversations where I'm at here in the Midwest, and so we'll see how that all turns out, and yes, all right. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Have a nice weekend. We will talk in just a few days. I love you, and good night.